When it comes to buying a place anywhere in the world, it really does boil down to three very cliched words. Dare I say it? Location, location, location. Overused they may be, but not without good reason. And one place in Florida that really fits that criteria is the Gulf Coast, and places like Tampa, Clearwater, and St. Petersburg. Stretching for hundreds of miles down the west side of Florida, the Gulf Coast incorporates several holiday and property hotspots. The big attraction of the area are the beaches, overlooking the sumptuous Gulf of Mexico. Mind you, the 361 days of sunshine and world-class attractions can't hurt either. As a whole, the Gulf Coast is the second most sought-after area for buying property after Orlando. In the past, it hasn't been a favourite place for Brits to buy, but this is fast changing. Paul Willies is a big fan of the city, having moved here from Canada, and helps those setting up businesses.
Actually, I'm English. I was born in Bristol and lived in Nailsea for a while before we emigrated to Canada, where I picked up the accent along the way. But here I am now in Tampa Bay, and this is a great place to live. We've got some great schools here in South Tampa, and we have curry houses. We actually have probably 10 good curry houses in Tampa Bay, which is quite a surprise. Along with British stores, so we can get the custard and the pickles relatively easily and inexpensively. It's not true that you just arrive on the doorsteps of America and suddenly you're a multi-millionaire. Not everybody's going to make it. There's a high success ratio. I think it's easier to make a business go here than it is in the UK. In Tampa Bay, we have many hotels and restaurants, and certainly the hotels and restaurants are, and the service industry is one of the key businesses that British people open here. The British community will provide a comfort zone, and there is one here, but this is America. I mean, you might want to get to know how the Americans live. In establishing any business, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in England or here, you probably need to prepare to use the first year to basically experiment and to establish yourself. So you need to be financially prepared to survive a year without making a dime. The second year would be a year to work out the kinks. If you survive the third year, you've probably got a winner. But not everybody makes it. Some people get tired and want to go home. They get homesick. I really enjoy it here. It's a great atmosphere. It's low pressure. As an entrepreneur, I've been very successful and managed to establish a niche for myself quite easily. I like it here. It's a great place to come.
It may be the biggest city in the area, but compared to LA or New York, it's a mere village. It's a big fish in a small pond, which means it's easy to get around and there's a great atmosphere. The city is self-styled as the business and commercial centre of the region, and the downtown area is an attractive place to work. It's also said to be one of the easier places in Florida to move to and to start a successful business. One family who did up sticks to start a new life here are the Vandenbergs, and I'm about to meet them. Having had enough of the rat race in London, Mike and Sue decided to emigrate with their two daughters and open a restaurant about 10 years ago.
Yeah, we came over here in September '94, so we've been here just over 10 years, really, 10.5 years. And then it took about 2 years to establish ourselves here. But in the early days, it was, a little bit tricky.
Handing out flyers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we had to open for breakfasts as well for a year or so, which was a long day. But now it's much easier.
The plus points of living here are definitely the weather. The kids can have a great time outside. And it's very safe, funnily enough. You'd think that it wouldn't be, but it is. You can come home from work and just jump in the pool and relax, have barbecues. You do get a lot of rain here at a particular time of the year, but usually they're just showers.
But we spend a lot of time in the restaurant here, of course. We have about half an hour off a week, which is nice.
No, we actually close Sundays so we can have a family day at home, otherwise we are here all the time. Things that we miss about the UK mostly, is the seasons. And I miss the hills because it's so flat in Florida. It takes you so long to get out of Florida until you reach a hill. Things like the underground and stuff like that, that was really exciting, all the big parks. But they have some very interesting parks here too.
Possible drawback is the medical side of things, medical expenses, which is a bit of a concern for us. And of course the litigation here is somewhat serious.
Getting our visas took rather a long time, and it's a very long process. So that's something people should consider before they try and come over.
Living in Tampa is nice. It's really laid back, and a lot of nice people here. There's a lot of options for classes and electives, lots of extracurricular activities such as rowing, wrestling, things like that.
At the weekend, I hang out with my friends and kind of go to the mall a lot.
There is not a lot to do, but there's a good amount. Go to the malls and see movies, or there's a little rodeo out in the sticks that you can go to.
The International Mall.
Yeah, lots of shopping
The other
places.
Yes,
Many
about 10
malls.
malls that she goes to.
I think for people thinking of moving over here, they should be a little bit prepared for a very different lifestyle. It's a great place if you're flexible, and the American dream is alive and well. And if you work hard and have a little bit of luck, you can be rewarded handsomely. We've been very lucky, very glad to move over here, and fortunately we have a great lifestyle and standard of living, so we have no regrets at all.
Echoing the growth in this area is Ybor City, the oldest suburb of Tampa. Following the decline in the cigar industry, this place became extremely run down and a real no-go area. But nowadays, as you can see, it's flourishing. Originally home to Cuban settlers, Ybor is a real Tampa success story. And where rundown factories once stood, there's now an array of trendy cafes and bars, and it's become a desirable place to live and socialize. The only downside is that many of the shops and businesses that originally gave the area its character have now been ousted. I went to the Ybor State Museum to meet Karen Brand to find out what else Tampa has to offer. So, why is Tampa such a in place?
Oh, we've got so much to do. Great attractions, beautiful weather, some of the best beaches in the country, and just a great atmosphere.
That's what really sells it to most people.
Absolutely.
Tell me a bit more about these attractions.
We've got Busch Gardens, which is a great adventure theme park where you can get up close and personal with the animals. You could even feed a giraffe if you wanted.
If you want to.
We've got the Museum of Science and Industry, which is a great place for families to go. Lowry Park Zoo, which was just named the #1 zoo in the country for kids.
Excuse me?
Fun place to be. And the Florida Aquarium, which is just loads of fun indoor and outdoor areas where families and kids can play together.
And of course you've got this, the museum.
Right, the Ybor City State Museum in the heart of Ybor City. It's our National Historic Landmark District, so a great place to be during the day to learn something, and just an awesome place to be at night to party.
There's a huge amount of building going on throughout Florida, but there's an awful lot of development in Tampa, I've noticed.
Yeah, we have about 20 residential projects that are underway right now in Tampa. The residential industry is just booming.
Why is that?
I think people love Tampa. It's a great place to be, but I also think they're wanting that urban lifestyle, and Tampa offers that.
So where do you see Tampa in the next 5-10 years?
Oh, it's just going to be so exciting to live here. We're right on the water. We're going to have tons of things to do. We're going to continue to develop, and all of that development is going to make Tampa just a great place to live, to work, and to play.
It's at night that Ybor really comes alive, and at the heart of the action is the city's oldest restaurant. The Columbia has been serving Spanish food here for over 100 years. The food is some of the best in the city, and the dancing's not bad either. All in all, Ybor is 12 blocks of pubs, clubs and restaurants. And as well as being the place to cruise up and down on your souped-up motorbike, at weekends this place is really busy, with everyone from tourists to college students doing their best to drink the place dry. City life doesn't suit everyone, of course, and there are a number of smaller towns on the Gulf Coast. St. Petersburg has been known as a real retirement haven. Even the 80s blockbuster Cocoon about OAPs was set here. But thanks to some great museums and more visitors, the average age is definitely dropping. The attraction of both St. Petersburg and Clearwater is the beach life, and the Gulf Coast as a whole is home to some stretches of sand voted the best in the entire country. Property in places like St. Petersburg and Clearwater have always been popular, so existing homes aren't cheap. If you are thinking of making a quick buck, well, you're better off looking at new developments. One man at the business end of off-plan property development in the Gulf Coast is Thomas Macario. One of his latest projects is Grand Verandas.
We're at the Grand Verandas on Tampa Bay. We have a total of 84 units in 3 buildings, 30 in the first building, 30 in the second building, and 24 in the third building. Now our buildings are 8-story buildings. First 2 floors are parking. Your living space doesn't actually start until your 3rd floor and higher. This helps avoid any flood insurance as well. Now there's about 150 yards of mangrove before the open water, so you don't quite get a water view until the 4th floor and higher. These units are an excellent investment. They've been appreciating 25 to 35% a year. Most of our investors purchased on speculation before we even had the first building built. At inception, we did have a cherry picker that would raise you up to the different floors, the different floor heights, so you can exactly see where, what kind of view you were going to be purchasing. Before we even had the units built, we were over 50% sold out. This is actually the master bedroom. This really sets this unit apart from the other units. Large master bedroom with access onto your balcony as well as your oversized windows. You also have a double walk-in closet as well as large master bath with your 6-foot raised tub and your standalone shower. Also has a double sink. Here's your actual linen closet. Obviously storage is very important in a condominium. Hall bath with your bathtub and shower and also your granite countertop. Laundry room. Bedroom number 3, with large oversized windows and a gorgeous view of Snug Harbor. As you can see, this is a finished unit. Slightly different floor plan with your galley kitchen, your breakfast nook area, and all your appliances. All the appliances you see here are included. For a small maintenance fee, you have gained access to your clubhouse available for private parties, your pool, and your hot tub.
And here's a guide to average prices in Miami and the Gulf Coast, and some local information to help you settle or invest in the area. If you do buy in the Gulf Coast or in Miami, it may turn out to be a great investment, but you're not just buying bricks and mortar, you're buying into the whole Floridian lifestyle. It's got some of the most amazing beaches in the world, it's got fantastic city life, and it's got a really laid-back atmosphere. And when you put that all together, it turns out to be a pretty good cocktail.